Are you tired of catching nothing while bass fishing? Do you wish you had a technique that works no matter what the water type, time of year, and area you live in? Then you clicked the right video because today I'm going to show you everything you need to know about how to fish the Ned Rig. The Ned Rig was invented in the late 1950s by bass fisherman Ned Rig, who wanted a fishing system that was simple and capable of catching tons of bass in the shortest time. Till this day, his fishing averages are legendary. His goal is to catch about 15 bass per hour on a bad or average day, and to catch about 20 to 25 bass on a good day. That's all year round, by the way. He remains unique as one of the few legends with both the lure and the technique to bear his first name. Let's quickly go over the gear you need to get started today. For your rod, you need a medium light to medium action rod, and no heavier. I prefer the Ugly Stick GX2. It's strong yet sensitive, but any rod of that action will do. The fishing line I prefer to use is 25-pound test braided line and 8-pound fluorocarbon as a leader line, tied with an Alberto nut. My favorite fishing line company I use is Cast King. You can find them on Amazon.com. High quality at budget prices. You can't go wrong. For the reel size, I would recommend anywhere between a 2,000 and 3,000 size reel. Now for some brands that means a size 20 to a size 30. Now drag system is key, and I feel like the Cast King Centron series with 10 ball bearings has the smoothest drag. You really can't go wrong, and I'll make a video reviewing this later. Finally, you'll need a mushroom head or net hook, about 1/16 or 1/8 ounce in weight. Now I prefer the 1/8 ounce size because bass bite the most for me using that size. Now my favorite hook is the Eagle Claw Laser Sharp Pro V Finesse Jig Head. Now that's my personal favorite because of the variety of colors and the price. And also any 2 to 3 inch plastic stick bait like a worm or crawfish is killer. I prefer the Z-Man TRD Craws or the TRD Worms. There are many ways to work the Ned Rig, but the two best retrieves I have seen to work for me are the bunny hop and the slow twitch. Let me show you. For the bunny hop, cast the lure out as far as possible. Let the lure float slowly to the bottom and pause. In many cases, the bass has already picked up your lure and you don't even know it. Bass love that fall. Then reel in your lure with 2 turns on the reel. No more, no less, then pause. Repeat the 2 turns and pause all the way back to the shore. That's if it makes it back without a bite. Next up is the slow twitch. Cast the lure out as far as possible again. Let the lure sink slowly to the bottom and pause. Then slowly reel in the line, 1 turn at a time, and shake your rod tip while retrieving it. Bass go nuts for this, especially on high pressure or high humidity days. Repeat all the way back to the shoreline if it even makes it there, and you're golden. So, does the Ned Rig actually catch fish though? Well, you be the judge. The real doctor will see you now. Hey, what's going on, guys? So just a quick recap of what was going on here. This technique definitely catches bass. Like, I've basically used the bunny hop right around the grass lines, and bass go crazy for this, like absolutely nuts. They cannot control themselves. Like this guy here, he just went and crashed it. Like I felt it drag up across the bottom, and all of a sudden, boom, bass was on the line. And then, I caught more later as the day progressed. Now, what you saw in technique number 2, you saw my rod like bend almost like it was a slingshot. I hooked into one of the biggest bass of the season. That would have been my personal best bass. And a little background on that is I was just doing some searching to figure out if I wanted to use my medium light action, and I wanted to compare it with the ultralight rod that I had, just to test the durability and strength. So I just cast out right by that corner of the bridge and was testing out my technique. All of a sudden, this huge, I'm talking about huge hit, stops my line, literally stops it, and bends the rod like it's a slingshot. And he breaks off right as I'm bringing him in. So right as you see the technique of the clip, he snaps my line. And I was using 8-pound fluorocarbon. So needless to say, none of the audio of what actually happened or was said will be posted on YouTube or any social media. It's definitely been deleted. I'll just have to come back and try to catch that bass. As a side note, I had a group of people, so I was catching so many monster-sized bluegill, I had to add them in the video. Even though I'm typically a bass fisherman, anybody can appreciate a solid bluegill catch if you're a real fisherman. So I had a group of folks that were using the classic bobber and earthworm, and I was right about 10 feet away from them, just catching all kind of bluegill. They were just like, what the heck are you doing? So I told them about the Ned Rig, and they were like, man, we got to try that. And I was like, yeah. So the main problem with the Ned Rig is it literally catches everything, which I guess I'll take that. Thanks again for watching, guys. I can't thank you enough. Go ahead and judo chop that like button, triple tap it, whatever you got to do, and subscribe to my channel for more bass fishing tips and tricks. Now feel free to leave a comment below and be on the lookout for the next video. That's it, guys. Keep your lines tight and your fish on. Till next time, this is Keith with Midwest Fish Finesse TV.